Hey, what's going on, you guys? It's Keinan Briggs, and the question of the week is a personal one that I really wanted to take, and it's, what was your most memorable track and field experience? And I've had a few, but this one, hands down, just stands out above the rest. So in 2011, I said, you know what, I'm going to make the indoor championships, and I'm going to try to win. That's my goal. As you exit college and you are post-collegiate, you have to do a lot of background work, whether it's administration, travel, entry fees, whatever it may be. You got to pay all those fees on your own, and you're kind of nickel and diming everything to make sure you can get all your costs covered when you compete. So I ended up not going to the Husky Invitational at UW. I went to the open meet, which is the day after on Sunday. But my plan was to arrive in the morning on Saturday, watch the meet, then compete on Sunday. I didn't want to pay for the baggage fees, so I just said I'm going to pack real light. And I packed just my uniform and my spikes in my backpack, and I wore my sweats and sweatpants because I knew it might be a little cold when I get there. Couldn't check into the hotel because it was a 3 o'clock check-in, and it was around 11 or 12 o'clock. So I go to the track meet, and I'm sitting there watching, hanging out, enjoying the scene, and decide, okay, it's about time to get back home. So I'm walking back to the hotel, and it starts to rain. I'm not really worried about it because I expect rain to happen in Seattle. So it was around 6 o'clock when I checked into the hotel, dropped my bags off, and I said, I'm going to walk down to the grocery store and pick up some stuff. I'm walking, and as I'm walking, it's still raining. I get my groceries, then I walk back. The whole trip, I probably ended up walking close to 3 miles. So I'm basically drenched, and I can feel the water starting to seep through my sweat top and wet my t-shirt. So I just said to myself, when I get home, I'm going to switch out of the wet clothes and bundle up in this bed and feel really good. I get to the hotel, and I'm not going to call it a hotel because it was really a hostel, and I thought hostel meant just another style or like European style or whatever. So I get in there, and there's no TV, there's no toilet, there's no shower. It's just a sink, a mirror, and 2 beds. So I'm freaking out because I'm not used to this. What am I going to do for the next 12 hours? The first thing before I could relax was I needed to find the heater. I couldn't find the heater. I'm used to a dial, little knob to press to turn the heat all the way to 80 or however far it'll go, but I couldn't find it. So I'm sitting there shivering, and I go to my bag to switch out into some very warm clothes, realizing all I have is track spikes and my uniform, which is a singlet top. So I'm sitting there with a blanket over me, and I'm on the bed just trying to figure out what to do. I turned the iron on to iron my sweats to hopefully dry them quicker. I ended up just having a horrible night because I was freezing. The next morning, I get up, and I was kind of boycotting taking a shower because the shower was down the hall. It was a community shower, and I hadn't even had that in college. We had our own showers for our own apartment. I was thinking about it, and I said, I can't compete like this. So I got up, kept my sandals on, took a shower, and then kind of refocused my mind to compete. As I was leaving, I wrote down some goals, and the goals that I wrote down were, I'm going to jump 52 feet 5 inches. I'm going to write this quotation on Facebook. I know it's going to happen. I believe I know I will. Some very positive affirmations, and I believed in it, and I knew it was going to happen. I tucked that away, put that in my bag, and I'm marching on to the track meet. I get to the track meet, and when I signed up for that Sunday meet, they said the track meet will be done by 4 o'clock. Meanwhile, I had a airport shuttle picking me up around 4 o'clock. So I'm just sitting there, and I'm watching the meet, and I'm watching long jump go round after round, and all of a sudden I'm realizing they still have 3 more flights of the long jump before they get to the final. Then they're going to start triple jump, and I'm in the very last group. So when I did the math, it would be around 5 o'clock when I was just start to compete. So I'm kind of freaking out. So I'm going to go tell the meet director, hey, you know what? I got to just kind of get into an earlier flight, one of the first flights, so I can get my jumps in. Now, saying that, which would mean that I would only get 3 jumps to qualify for the USA Championships. I wouldn't get 3 more if I made the final, because the final would be at the last actual section of all the jumpers. So with that said, I told myself, I don't need 3 jumps, I just need 1. So I'm getting my stuff ready to go because long jump is now finishing up. And I'm walking out, and I realize they don't have a 40-foot board for the triple jumpers. I think it was 36. My goal is to jump 52. Do the math on that, I'm going to be in the pit on my first 2 phases. I'm stressing out, trying to figure out how can I move the board, and they're telling me there is no board because they're really high tech and they have electronic measurement. They didn't have a board set down for that because they already had 2 boards down. And as I'm panicking, one of the coaches from Oregon State had the same problem with his athlete, and he said, you know what I'll do is you go ahead and warm up and I'll finish this for you. I was grateful, and I went outside and I'm doing my drills and warming up. All of a sudden, my calves started to cramp up. A mixture of stress, anxiety. If you're cramping up, that's pretty much it. I'm praying to everybody, trying to figure out, what needs to happen and how can I do this. And I go to the runway, and the run-throughs are almost done. I'm late already. And I only got 1 good run-through in. It felt pretty good. And I said to myself, gotta do this. I can make it in 1 jump. Run down the runway my first attempts, calves cramp up. I just run right through. At the time, I was sponsored by 2XU, and I was looking all cool and fly. I had my X's all on my arm and legs and all that stuff. So people expected me to come out and show out. I'm freaking out. My airport shuttle's gonna be here in another hour, and I just don't know what to do. So I'm sitting down, I'm trying to, rub out my calves, but I had a compact unit, and I put those on my calves to hopefully, circulate some blood flow. I hear my name being called, and I'm thinking, who knows me? I'm in Washington. I'm like, 1,000 miles away from where I live. And it happened to be one of my buddies that I met at USA Outdoor Championships. He told me, hey, what's going on? How you doing? I said, this is what's going on. I got all this stress on me. I just got to figure out what to do. And he said, hey, you know what? Stop stressing. What I'll do is, if you need a ride, I'll take you to the airport so you can go ahead and get all of your jumps in. Now, I can just go get 1 jump in that's at least far enough to get to the finals. I can re-warm up, maybe rehydrate myself, and do whatever I got to do to get to that level that I got to compete at. I run down the runway, I'm feeling confident, pop off a big jump. It was, I believe, 50 feet. And I thought I jumped like 47. So I jumped this big jump, and I was excited. And I said, I didn't even try. I just did it that easy. So I said to myself, well, on my 3rd jump, I can either go for it and see what happens, or I can try to literally get the qualifying jump right now. And if I do that, then I can go ahead and go home, hop on the shuttle, and call it a day. So I looked at my goal sheet that I wrote earlier with how far I'm going to jump and what I'm going to post on Facebook. And I said, this is going to happen. My compact unit was working still. Took those off. I started getting the crowd pumped up. Ran down the runway, and I hit the board perfectly. I saw nothing. I didn't see anything. I'm a big person on visualization, and whenever I would visualize, I would feel my body's going through the motions of a jump, the perfect jump, the one that I needed. And what I would feel was what I was experiencing at that moment. I saw pitch black nothing, but I felt the motions, and that my body just kind of traveled. And then all of a sudden, I felt the sand. When I hit the sand, I kind of woke up out of this I don't know what to call it, but just another world. And I hear the crowd ooh and ah, and they're trying to figure out what's going on. And the reason why they couldn't tell me my mark immediately, that board problem we had earlier, they put the guys on the girls' runway. Me and the other guy that were supposed to jump over 50 feet. They would do the electronic measurement, then add in the difference as if I jumped from the girls' board, but they had to do the math to add in the distance between the girls' board and that 40-foot board we were jumping from. So a few moments passed by, and they told me in meters what I jumped. It was 1597. Great. What is that? I don't know what that means. 52 feet, 4 inches and a quarter, or something like that. I didn't understand what that meant, even though she just told me in English. That's about a half a foot better than my lifetime best. Whoa, I'm jumping around, I'm high-fiving people and celebrating, I'm all pumped up, I'm flexing on everybody, and then I realized I did it. And I went to my bag because I had to kind of, gather myself and take my shoes off, and I opened up my goal sheet, and I remembered my goal sheet said I wanted to jump 52 feet 5 inches. I literally manifested my dream jump, which was just that, and I was 3/4 of an inch away or so from what I had envisioned. It was just an amazing feeling. I was so emotionally drained because of just everything that went on. I say I scratched the rest of my jumps, and that mark ended up being the best mark for the day, for the open meet, but also the best mark for the whole weekend. So the 2011 Husky Invitational and Open Meet, I had the best marker of the week. It was an amazing experience because I was actually able to manifest and create that experience. It wouldn't have happened if I never asked for it. I made it to USA Championships. I placed 6th overall at the meet. So the reason why that's my most memorable experience, not because of the drama that happened, but whenever you visualize and set goals and you expect things to happen, they will happen. And just always expect for a good story to come from it. At the end of the day, whatever you're shooting for and going for will always come true. And when it does, you're going to have a great story to tell. Till next time. Remember to click that subscribe button. I have new videos coming out every Tuesday and Thursday. For very detailed and exclusive information, make sure you visit KeinanBriggs.com.